start with, taking the headlight lid off, I brought it inside, and I'm going to be using this template that I've made, which you'll be able to find in the description below if you want to make your own. So as you can see, it's quite simple to do. Just align this with the top edge, match that with the rounded corner. You can see that there should be a 1 centimeter gap from this corner to the arrow here, and that should be aligned properly. So you can modify this template to make your own designs, and for more information there is this version. So you see that everything below this line, you've got the headlight itself, so you can't go lower than anything on this line. Here are lines for the arms and the brackets and the bolts. There's a spring hook there which you need to watch out for, and there's a big arm that stops the headlight from rising once it reaches a certain point. So if you're making a vent that recesses into the car, these are the obstacles you have to look out for. If you're raising it, you don't have to worry, which is why there are two versions. So you can use this and you can draw your own design on here, figure out how you want to do it, and then you can either come up, down or whatever, and then you can mirror that for the other side. So there's little marks here, just cut it off a little bit because of how I've printed it, but the arm brackets that hold the headlight mechanism up, like that. So you can double check that you've got it all aligned properly, so you know exactly where you're working by checking this on the car and lining up these marks with the brackets. So that way you know that the template is exactly in the right position, doesn't matter which headlight lid it's on. And there's also references here, so you can check that we've printed it at the right size, so you can make sure everything lines up. So you've got a 1 inch reference and a 1 centimeter reference. So I'm going to tape this down, get it all in the right place, and then I can go about cutting along these lines. Do you have to be so noisy? So I'm going to sand this back, then put the template on, cut the lines out that I want, and then I can start rebuilding it all and painting it. So that's now cut out and bent back, so I can make sure that this fits in, which it does. And now I've just grabbed some scrap metal. So I've just cut out a couple of the little triangles that I'm going to use as sides, so that the filler has something to build up onto. That side and that side. So I'm just going to use some adhesive to sort of stick these in place, stop them shifting around whilst I'm trying to build filler up onto them. So give them a quick clean, make sure they're nice and flat, nice and smooth, then get them stuck down on there, and I might stick this in place whilst I'm there, and then it's time to start building it up. So that's now set, it's pretty secure in there, so I'm going to give it a quick clean off, get rid of all this dust, put some filler along these side bits. It's probably going to be quite messy to start with because of the small amount of space I've got to work in, so I'm really just going to build it all up and then smooth it all down to make it look a bit nicer. So fortunately there's not too much that needs doing, but it's still going to look very messy when I start. this to dry and go off, and as you can see I've already sanded and tried to start cleaning off the top surface. So I've still got a little bit more to do there, but now I can start to smooth this down and this side, and then it should be ready for paint. So that's now relatively smooth. See on that side, a little bit of texture to it, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to coat the whole thing in high build primer and then sand that back to get it extra smooth, and then it should be good for the base coat and clear coat. So not too bad for the first go. I'm going to give another layer of primer just to fill these bits out here. There's a couple of other little marks, but then rinse and repeat, and then I'll go on to the base coat. Now smoothed down. Next thing is going to be to mask off around here. I'm going to paint this black, and then I'm going to put some clear coat, and then that'll be it done. I was going to mask the black bit off and do the clear coat, but I think I'll just do the clear coat over the whole thing and then just flatten it back on the red bits. Right, just trying to get this back on, just wind it up so we've got access to the bolts. There we go. And you can see just got the nuts lightly in, so I've got something to get this on. And wind it down to make sure that it's clear and everything. I need to retie this wire back down. See, the clip's broken, but that's not a problem. As you can see, I need to get rid of this plastic trim under there, because otherwise that is right behind where the air intake is going. So I might try and cut it out around there, but for the time being I'm just going to take the whole thing off. You see this is in two parts, up there and there, so I'll just take this back thing off. It's only a couple of plastic screws, and that should give it clear access for air to come in here and to the air intake. There you go, nice and easy. Now that means just wind this back up again. So there we go. If you need to adjust it, then just loosen these off a little bit and reshift it around, tighten back up again. Now we can put the black surround on, and that's it, job done. There we go, that's in. So I do need to shift it around a little bit, it's a bit too far forward. As you can see there, there's a bit of a gap at the back. And obviously the paintwork still needs doing, so that's coming up. You might have noticed the air intake is missing. Well, that's where this comes in, and that's coming up next. So thanks for watching, see you in a bit.